Ever since Jonathan Majors was arrested back in March after an incident with his girlfriend in New York City, people have been asking two primary questions. One, what actually went down? What actually happened between them in this era of Me Too and then the Amber Heard era? People are going to question the narrative for anything at this point in time, regardless of who's being alleged to have done what. And two, is Marvel actually going to hang on to this guy? Or are they going to drop him and recast him like so many other people have done? Marvel so far has stood by him. But after the testimony that we heard today, that got out today, might be getting more difficult. It does not look good for Jonathan Majors. The past 4 days, his ex-girlfriend, Grace Jabari, the one who alleged that he hit her on this night, has been testifying. Took the stand for 4 days. And there was a lot of stuff in there, including audio of Jonathan Majors, basically berating her, saying that she's not a good enough woman, that he's a great man and needs a great woman behind her. They showed footage of Jonathan Majors actually kind of throwing her back into a car at one point. But then the text messages came out, and this is absolutely not what Jonathan Majors or the defense wanted. Jonathan Majors, trial day 7, actor begged accuser not to go to hospital in old text exchange. This is not talking about the incident back in March. This is talking about something that happened in London in September of 2022 that might prove a pattern. And the details of this are not good. If you remember back when Jonathan Majors' lawyer released text messages between Jonathan Majors and Grace Jabari trying to prove Jonathan Majors' innocence, and all it made it look like was his ex-girlfriend has like battered wife syndrome. Like she was doing anything, lying to him to make sure that they could stay together, lying to the police, lying to the hospital people to make sure that Jonathan Majors didn't get in trouble. Well, it looks like Jonathan Majors has a history of asking her to do exactly that. This is pretty fucked up, and the defense is the reason that this got brought into evidence. Jonathan Majors appears to admit physically attacking ex Grace Jabari in text messages entered into evidence. In text message between Jonathan Majors and accuser, the Marvel actor appeared to admit physical violence against his now ex 6 months before Jonathan Majors was arrested in March. We heard about the documentation from London, from the UK in September 2022, and initially, the judge ruled that these things could not be brought in until the defense opened the door during their cross-examination. Then this evidence was allowed in, and it might prove very detrimental for Jonathan Majors. Quote, "I fear you have no perspective of what could happen if you go to the hospital," Majors, 34, texted Jabari in September. "They will ask you questions, and I don't think you actually protect us. It could lead to an investigation even if you do lie and they suspect something." In the text messages displayed to the jury and read to the record by Jabari on her 4th and final day on the stand, Jabari appeared to assure Majors that she would not blame him for allegedly causing an injury to her head. "I will tell the doctor I bumped my head," Jabari cried as she read aloud. Unable to continue, Assistant District Attorney Kelly Galloway took over. "I will tell the doctor I bumped my head if I go. I'm going to give it one more day, but I can't sleep. I need stronger painkillers. That's all. Why would I tell them what really happened when it's clear I want to be with you?" This is all going back and showing this pattern of behavior and how it does seem like it was a pretty toxic relationship. Now, it's certainly, I'm not going to sit here and like convict Jonathan Majors or whatever. Like, it certainly could be toxic both ways. She could have done a lot of fucked up shit to him. He might have done some fucked up shit to her. I've seen those type of relationships where you say things, you do things that you don't mean to each other. It's just bad. It's just a bad pairing, and they treat each other like shit. But with that being said, it doesn't excuse what we're seeing from Jonathan Majors in this behavior. It gets even worse. The next couple of paragraphs talk about how originally they didn't consider this open. They wasn't going to be allowed to be introduced. But then the defense, the same defense who released these text messages, the same defense lawyers who have fucked up time and time again, asked some questions that opened the door on cross-examination to them bringing this in. On cross-exam, one of Major's lawyers had drilled Jabari about why the morning after the alleged March 2023 incident, the woman told emergency personnel she didn't remember how she became injured. Gaffey said on Friday morning that the lawyer asked the question in an effort to impugn Jabari's credibility, even though they knew there might be another reason why she wasn't forthcoming. In those September text messages, Majors responded to Jabari threatening to kill himself if his then-girlfriend went to the hospital for her injured head. Listen to the manipulation. "If you go to the hospital because I hit you, because you hurt your head when we were together, I'm going to just off myself." That's the type of manipulation that Jonathan Majors was using. "Last night, I considered killing myself versus coming home. I need love too. Or maybe I'm such a monster and horrible man I don't deserve it, and I should just off myself. In this way, my existence is miserable. I want to die. Jabari had responded, "I will not go to the doctor if you don't feel safe with me doing so or don't trust me. I promise you I would never mention you, but understand your fear." He then said, he then admonished her for not hugging him after a fight. Then Major said, "I'll probably kill myself. It's not really contemplating anymore. I'm a monster, a horrible man, not capable of love. I'm killing myself soon." What these text messages look like are a physical altercation that happened between them that ended with her getting hurt, her needing to go to the hospital, and him telling her not to go, forcing her not to go, pressuring her not to go, even by threatening to off himself doing it. This does not look good for Jonathan Majors, especially when those other text messages that the lawyer put out there look like that same person, this same person that's doing everything they can to try to stay with this guy who clearly there was a lot of shit that went down in their relationship that was not healthy. These text messages are pretty damning in terms of like his character. And I think that regardless of the rest of this trial, regardless of a conviction even, the fact that these messages are out there, that people are seeing that type of behavior, that he told someone, demanded that she not go to the hospital because he was afraid that there might be an investigation, that he'd get wrapped up in it, even when she's hurt. And that he's threatening to kill himself just so she doesn't go to the hospital. That is pretty fucked up. What do the future hold for Jonathan Majors? It's a long trial. We could have a lot of stuff come out on the other side that shows that she was just as bad as he was. The trial's got a long way to go, but today, these text messages are very, very bad for Jonathan Majors. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.